Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to Ignorant Money Club. So today I got an exciting video keeping you updated on the investments that I've been doing ever since this year started. 2020 has been pretty much a solid investing year. Ever since the beginning of the year, I think I've probably invested more money into different assets that will allow me to grow my wealth than any other year of my life. So super exciting, and I'm excited to see how these assets grow in the future. But anyways, before we jump into the video, please remember to smash up that like button, hit the subscribe button, and tap that notification bell if you haven't already or if you're new to the channel. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about Aspen digital token. So for anyone who keeps up with any of my other videos, you are aware that I pretty much decided to invest in Aspen digital token because I just thought it was a cool token. It was a real estate token, and it pretty much allowed me to have ownership, or a small portion of ownership, in the St. Regis Aspen resort in Colorado. Never been there before, but like I said, just to be able to diversify my portfolio a little bit. In addition to that, it was the first third-party token on the tZERO exchange, so that was super exciting as well. But anyways, around August time frame, I decided to up my position to around 10,000 Aspen digital tokens, and right now it sits around $1.28. I think it closed at that on Friday, and so that's a pretty cheap price. That is around the levels that I saw tZERO at, around the $1-ish range, before I chose to, start upping my tokens with tZERO or the tZROP token. So I felt like, okay, if I'm going to do it, this is probably one of the best times to do it and not procrastinate, kind of like I did with the tZROP token, because you wait saying, oh, I'm gonna wait till it goes down, or I'll invest in it later, and then before you know it, this $1 token turns into a $10 token. It, similar to what happened before. So that wasn't the only reason, that's kind of like a FOMO, or a fear of missing out reason. I just started, doing deep diving and doing more research on it, and I realized that, okay, tZERO Markets has officially launched. All the news that's been going on supporting it, by default, being that this is one of the only third-party tokens, they're really advanced. They're more advanced than a lot of other like real estate companies and just like hotels in general. Like, what hotels do you know that have already looked into tokenizing their assets on the blockchain? And so, I kept looking into things, and what kind of got my attention even more is they published a financial report back in, what was that? It was back in August. That was one of the first ones I saw. And to have a pandemic going on this year, they weren't doing that bad, as bad as they expected. They expected that the occupancy rate was going to be like super low, but they were actually around like 60% occupied for August. And then I looked into more research, and as time went on, things just got better. So despite the coronavirus and all the stuff that's been going on with the election, people are still living their lives. Like, it may not be max capacity, but people are still going out having fun. And this is like pretty much a 4 or 5-star resort. The St. Regis brand is just so popular, where people will pay hundreds of dollars, almost thousands of dollars every night just to live in these hotels. So in addition to that, the rewards that pretty much they kind of introduced, I thought that was pretty cool too, because to be so early on in this token space, like, they're already giving incentives for their token holders. So for example, I gave if you hold at least a minimum of 10,000 tokens, then you can get up to 20% cash rebate back after spending nights at the hotel. So if you spent one night at the hotel, you get 20% back on whatever you paid. And I thought that was super cool. So like I said, never even thought about going to Colorado or Aspen, but hey, I have the 10,000 tokens now, and if I were to ever go there, I would be able to take advantage of that. So let me just jump into some of the exciting news and show you some of these articles and things that I've been looking at to support even more why I chose to buy 10,000 more Aspen digital security tokens. All right. So this was a super exciting article that was put out, what was that, October 27th. So at the end of October, I see this news, and this is around the same time that, Overstock, right before Overstock had its earnings, and it says elevated returns and BlockFi partner to offer lending on tokenized assets. So I'm like, at first I'm like, what is BlockFi? I didn't even know what BlockFi is. And this is how I found out what BlockFi was, and thus why I'll have some more videos in the future in regarding BlockFi. But when I saw this, I was like, okay, let me read. And it says, we're excited to announce that BlockFi has entered an agreement with asset management and tokenization firm Elevated Returns, which is who pretty much owns Aspen, to provide lending facilities against digital assets issued with the Elevated Returns group of companies. So I was just thinking, I was like, okay, wow, like that's pretty interesting. How will that affect me? Because at the time I didn't know how BlockFi worked. And it says, through these lending facilities, token holders will have access to capital while enabling them to hold on their tokenized investments. So what I get from this is, I've called BlockFi. They didn't really have, or their customer support didn't really have too much information on it, but I'll continue seeking that knowledge. But anyways, how I interpret this entire thing is, we will essentially, or token holders of Aspen digital security token will be able to pretty much use their tokens for collateral to get capital and go invest in something else. So it's like, even if you wanted to, say you needed some quick capital to go, start a new business, you wouldn't have to sell your tokens. Instead, you could just use them for collateral to get a loan from BlockFi. So in my head, after doing research on BlockFi and joining and stuff like that, I essentially get paid interest, pretty high interest, what is actually considered high interest, 8.6% to be exact, APY, just to allow people to borrow my cryptocurrency. So now I'm thinking, like, on the retail side, there may be an opportunity for Aspen digital security token holders to use their tokens for collateral to not only get capital, but to be able to get paid interest if the demand is high enough. Now that is going to be super insane. So for anyone who isn't familiar with BlockFi, I'll put my link in the description, and you all can check that out and just see how this works. But like I said, I've been noticing Aspen has been moving, like they've been making leaps and bounds and doing stuff that it's like they're already knowledgeable about, all of the types of products and opportunities that exist in the marketplace. And that's just super interesting to be coming from like a real estate company. It's super interesting. So anyways, I won't go too deep into that, but just know to check out that video, and I'll have all of these linked in the description. So moving forward, this is just their website, and if for anyone who wants to like check it out and go on it, read more about the Aspen coin and the purpose of it and stuff like that, and that very informative. I believe like when people originally invested in the they call it the STL security token offering, they pretty much had to set up a profile on this site right here. So owner benefits, it kind of gives, oh yeah, this is the owner benefit program that I was just talking about, where you pretty much own tier 1, a minimum of 10,000 Aspen digital tokens, and you get a 20% cashback rebate for every night that you stay in Aspen. So just to reiterate that, so super exciting. And then soon after this, or right before this article was published, It says Stefan debates who owns the St. Regis Aspen Resort, and you can too. Enter tokenization. So, you know, they're really pumping this thing up like, hey, you want to own a piece of this resort? Like, you can, and all you have to do is invest in, you know, Aspen digital security token. And that's super exciting because, you know, when you think about it, at the end of the day, this is still a private company. This is not something that is available to people on the traditional marketplace. Like, so for you to be an owner in St. Regis, you know, Aspen Resort is just like huge, and that distinguishes you, and you may see a lot more capital appreciation. Who knows, like this thing could go from $1 to $50, you know, within a matter of time. It's just about getting people exposed and people knowing about it. That's the thing right now. And that's another reason why I invested, because people don't know about tZERO. That's just like when people didn't know about Bitcoin. Like Bitcoin was, you know, it was a decent price, but look at what it is now, over $15,000, and that's still not a lot of people that know about it. So exposure is one thing. Like, you never really know what something is worth till you get it out there to people, and then you can make that decision. But I don't even have much to lose. Like, it's $1.28. It can only go to zero. So look at the upside. You know, you don't really have to do a whole bunch of deep diving. But in addition to that, like I said, I have been looking at the financial reports, and you know, they've been pretty decent. So if you if you have a tZERO or Dino account, log into your account. They pretty much publish, usually monthly. I have some type of document that they've published, the Aspen terms of owner benefits, and the Aspen performance update for September. I think this was the one for August. So just a lot of different stuff that they're putting out there. They're communicating with us and letting us know what's going on. And that's always good when you invest in something, because you don't want to be an investor long term and just like hoping and nothing happens. So, all right, this is the financial report for September. And so I think this was a very good report, because once again, I'll briefly go through it. They didn't expect the occupancy rate to be so high, but they said for September 2020 occupancy rate of 70% remarkably even surpassed the September 2019 number of 60%. So you mean to tell me last year people weren't even in like, you know, we weren't in this pandemic and they surpassed their September mark. So even though they probably had slower times throughout March and, you know, the rest of the other months, like they've been picking back up. It's showing that people, despite what's going on, the numbers increasing, people still need to live their lives, and they're going to find a way to be able to do it. And what a lot of people have been doing, getting away from the clubs, getting away from the bars, restaurants, they've been going to like doing nature type things, and to go to like a ski resort for Christmas or something, that's like super cool. You know, it's different. So that's another reason. And I've looked at different articles. They said like, you know, people have been moving a lot to the Aspen, Colorado area as well. So I have a friend who actually lived there, so I'm gonna talk to him and see how hot that area, you know, is. I know, you know, for the ganja smokers and the weed smokers and stuff like that, like, you know, that's a pretty good place to be. But outside of that, you know, what else attracts young people, older people, you know, people in their mid ages to Aspen, Colorado? So that's the financial report, and they have a lot of other information. They have even like this pretty much little brochure about the rewards benefit, and then all the numbers, so you can check that out. I'm not gonna go too deep into that. I'm not super huge on like trying to push all the financials out to you. You can go read that stuff yourself. And pretty much these are some of the core reasons why I chose to, you know, take that, what I consider, you know, decent size amount of money and invest it, because I could literally turn that 10,000 to 100,000 if this, you know, if enough people learn about Aspen Digital Security Token and it appreciates, you know, to $10. Like that's a quick flip, or I can, you know, hold it for the long term. And I'm super excited. Maybe one day I will go out there and take advantage of my tier 1 benefits. So that's pretty much all I have for you all today. Please stay tuned for more tZERO news, tZERO updates. I got some BlockFi videos coming out. Check the Instagram. We're posting every single day. This month right here, we're just doing something different. 28 days of IMC in November. So every single day we're putting a post out on Instagram, or we're putting some type of video on YouTube. Please let me know in the comments below if you all are interested in seeing anything specific, and I'll do my best to get that information to you. And outside of that, everybody just have a blessed and safe day. We'll see how this election goes. Still haven't heard anything on it yet, and you know, just keep investing. Anyways, please remember to tap that notification bell, hit that subscribe button, and like this video if you thought it was helpful. Thanks, and have a great day.